Hey, bonjour there, Chippewas of Stony Point First Nation members and Eagle 107.7 radio listeners. Today is Wednesday, April 20th, 2020, and this is my community update in regards to COVID-19. Things are doing very well in this First Nation, and I think we're doing very well in this county as well here, the county of Lambton. There's currently, to date, there's been 230 cases of COVID-19, 167 recoveries, and 19 deaths. That means that currently across the province there are 44 active cases of COVID-19. That is also in 3 institutional outbreaks. That means that a lot of that's probably contained in those institutions, but there is still COVID-19 out there, still moving around. And although the province and the First Nation has lifted some restrictions and opened things up a little bit more, sort of created more spaces that are available for people to attend. It's up to you to make sure that if your risk level is high, if you have those other sicknesses that make you very vulnerable to COVID-19, that you take all the precautions necessary to protect yourself. Just because the opportunity is there for you to go to these places that may present some risk to you doesn't mean you have to go. It's also my understanding that there is, relatively low risk in a brief interaction, intermittent interaction with somebody out in a retail setting. Say you pass somebody in an aisle at the grocery store, or you pass somebody, in passing on the street, and there's very low interaction. Even if you're closer than 6 feet, and just in brief passing, there's a relatively low risk to that. The greatest risk comes when you begin to limit your social distancing. So there's physical distancing, that's keeping 6 feet apart from everybody. And then there is social distancing, which is limiting your social circle down to your family, your close family, loved ones at home with you. The wider you spread that social network, the more gatherings you have with more than your household or more than 5 people, the greater the risk becomes. The amount of time you're together in close proximity, be it inside or outside, sharing space together, the longer you do that, the greater the risk increases. So the medical professionals are saying that yes, more settings are there. As long as you're taking those precautions, I'm still highly recommending the mask wearing. I've got my mask here. What that does doesn't necessarily protect you, but it protects everybody else. So if we're all being cautious to not spread anything we may have, the mask will help with that. And making sure that we're washing our hands, making sure that we're not touching our eyes, nose, or mouth when we're out in public, and limiting that at home as much as possible as well. And if you do need to touch your facial area, make sure that you're washing or sanitizing your hands prior to that. So that's my message for today. The pandemic is not over. Things seem to have flattened out. We haven't seen the spike and things come down yet, but the curve certainly has flattened out. We do have a lot of things in place in our First Nation and in our county to help protect us, but still we need to take measures into our own hands and protect ourselves by limiting our exposure to as many people as possible, and just hand washing, wearing a mask and not spreading, and keeping that distance. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll chat again this week. Remember, don't panic, eat Bannock.